What up, guys? Welcome to episode 4 of the Road to Worlds series. In this episode, I'm getting my blood work done because I turned 40 this year and I've been a natural lifetime lifter for over 20 years. And remember in episode 1 where we're going to test, does your life end at 40? We're going to figure it out today because I literally know nothing. All I know about is like testosterone levels. I'm sure there's a whole gamut of other hormones I need to test for. But did the 20 years of lifting help me at 40 years old? Or am I just average? Or is there other reasons for why my penis doesn't work? We're going to figure it out today. Maximum performance. Viagra and Cialis without the hangover. Our unique proprietary formula, comes in a nice little chewing gum packet like that, is designed not only to aid with sexual performance, but also includes the following benefits. Yeah, we need to ask about this for sure.
Step out.
192.8 pounds with clothes on. Now what are we doing? Arm wrestling?
You want to?
What's blood pressure?
Yeah, a little bit of pressure.
I need to...
I don't have to take it off right now.
Senior citizen almost.
What? That's messed up.
We'll see where you're at.
Do I look like a senior citizen?
You're Asian, you still look young.
Thank you. I'm actually 62.
No way. I have a date of birth here, so.
Oh, damn it.
What's your height?
5'9". Is that good blood pressure?
That's normal one.
134 over 69. It's pretty good.
Yep. Especially at your age, yes.
What? What are you trying to say?
I'm not saying anything.
You can't just put it through here, right?
If you want me to do it, I can do it. Sure.
Guess where the vein is?
I'll be surprised if you're scared of needles. I'll be surprised if you're scared of needles.
I'm very scared. See?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Majority of the guys is like that.
You're not gonna pass out.
I think I am, so this is my excuse to get some donuts later.
There's a good bagel cafe right next door if you want.
Do they have glazed donuts? Because I have to tell my diet coach that I was gonna pass out. That's why I have to go off the off the program.
I don't know. Just finding some excuses to get some sugar. Alright, you're all set.
So I was just as surprised as you guys were when the appointment was over. Like it was just blood drawn. Obviously, I've never done this before, so I don't even know what's happening. But now I kind of have a better grasp of things. So you come in day 1, which is right now. I get my blood drawn. Then they're gonna send it to a lab to test, like, is his penis here or up here, or is it dangling down here? Why does he get so hard when he sees buff dudes? They're gonna figure all that stuff out. Then in a couple of days, once they have all those results, we're gonna have our consultation. And during the consultation, they'll explain everything to me, and we'll figure out all the questions we're trying to find out. Did the 20 years of lifting help me? Am I suboptimal as a 40-year-old? Is my life over? Am I a straight up fucking loser? Why does my son not respect me? And why does my wife hate me? We're gonna figure all those things out in our next appointment. So see you guys then.
We do this here. Let's kind of review here, Bart. Just review the medical history here. So I'm the medical director here.
Okay, cool.
So medical history. Are any current medications right now? Do you take anything?
Nope.
Any supplements?
Like protein,
Creatine.
Yeah.
What are you doing right now?
protein, creatine. I take a pre-workout in the morning.
Okay.
And like electrolytes.
Okay. Any allergies and medications? Any
No allergies. Does that mean you're the smartest guy here? If you're the
medical director? I wouldn't say smartest, but I probably have the most experience of most.
okay.
There's another medical director. I can tell you the other medical director is here as well. Not focused on fitness as much. He does more of the. He's board certified as an anesthesiologist, so he does more of our. We do like ketamine treatments, Nat Plus. He focuses more on like things like that.
I see.
But yeah, I focus more on the, I would say, hormone replacement and anti-aging things that we do here.
Gotcha.
So, okay. So as far as the supplements go, you said protein and
Creatine.
and
Some electrolytes and like pre-workout. And I take a daily multivitamin too.
Okay.
All available at barbellbrigade.com.
No medical history as far as like no heart problems, no cancer, things like that you're aware of?
Not that I know of.
Smoker, drinker, any funny drugs?
No smoking, no drinking, no funny drugs.
Okay. Let's look at your blood work together here. It's basically a physical here, so
Yeah.
let's kind of look at, let's go through line by line, and I'll tell you kind of what I looked at here, okay?
Okay, perfect.
Okay, first thing I look is your blood count. Make sure there's no crazy infections in your blood, making sure you have enough red blood cells, okay?
That's good.
Everything there looks good. Next thing I look is your general chemistry, making sure you're not diabetic. Your blood sugars look good. 72 is great. That's the blood sugar at the moment when we did your blood work. We also check what we call A1C. If you don't know what that is, that's like an average blood sugar for 90 days. So we can tell that you're not even close to being pre-diabetic. Okay?
Yes.
So that's good. Okay. Other things I look at is your BUN creatinine. So I can tell you that your BUN is a little higher.
Why is it red?
That's your acute kidney function. So I can tell you you're probably a little dehydrated when you first came in here, and that's what means your kidneys are a little dry. But the long-term kidney function is the next line here. There's no issues there. So you probably just didn't have enough water. I can tell you also when you take creatine supplements, I don't know when you take it. Think about what creatine does. That's creatine serum. It can throw off my number sometimes, meaning you hold. What creatine tries to do is you kind of hold more water in you, and that's kind of why people love taking creatine, right? So you can hold to look like you're more bulkier, right, than you are. But that can also mess with your kidney function temporarily. You just have to drink tons of water.
Gotcha.
I can tell you, you're on enough supplements, protein. You need to drink tons of water.
Okay.
That's what you need to do.
Drink it right now.
Other things I look at is your liver enzymes. So all this is just electrolytes, normal. Liver enzymes, a little elevated. One, not bad though by any means. I'm going to tell you.
What kind of enzymes are these?
Liver. That
Liver
tells you how your liver's producing, okay? So I can tell you, if you're really working out, one of the problems I have with ALT, AST is, think about it, lactic acid, that's muscle soreness. So if you came in a little sore, I can tell you liver enzymes are going to be high normal or highly elevated because that's what the liver is what breaks down the lactic acid. So I can tell you there's mildly elevated. I would not worry and say, well, how do I know there's not failing on me? Well, I can tell you like true alcoholics or if you have liver cirrhosis, that number would balloon to like 200-300.
Oh my God.
So mild is not okay. It just means the liver's working harder to break down. So it could be supplements you're taking, overdoing supplements, which I don't think that's your case. More likely if you're working out a lot, lactic acid.
I just worked out before I got my blood drawn, like an hour before.
And that's exactly what I can say. It usually is. Okay. From a cholesterol standpoint, there's some work to do. So what kind of diet are you on right now? Are you just on everything? Like a carnivore?
No. So from the holiday season, I've been on the holiday diet.
Okay.
Which is whatever the family puts out. Yeah, like.
Okay.
So I gained, I think, about almost 10 pounds in just the month of December.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that's a reflection of your cholesterol. And just think of, and I'm gonna tell you cholesterol is, so when I look at cholesterol, think about triglycerides as what have you done for me lately? Meaning, I'm gonna use an analogy here. If you do an all bacon diet for 24 hours and you come in the next morning and draw your blood work, well, that's the pure fats in your blood, so triglycerides will be off the roof. All I can tell from the triglycerides here, it's normal. So the fats, sugars I ate the day before, your liver's processing out okay.
Okay.
The total cholesterol, I don't really look at this as much as I look at this right here. Total cholesterol is a combination of good and bad cholesterol. Think about good cholesterol like olive oil in your arteries. And if you don't know, like olive oil in your arteries, think about olive oil at room temperature, then you put it in the fridge. The viscosity doesn't change. That's why it's so good for you. And I always say is olive oil, you want as much of that stuff as you can because it's protective, because it keeps everything flowing. It will never cause plaque or clots
Olive
in
oil.
your arteries. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna tell you, you're 19 points, so you're almost 20 points over into good. So that's very protective. LDL is the bad, and that's bright red right here. So when I use the same analogy, just kind of like butter in your vessels. So same analogy, right? At room temperature, it looks like oil, but when the fridge gets hard,
Yeah.
that's what it does around your arteries over time. Okay?
I
And
see.
say over time. The good news is you're 20 points over, almost onto good, so you can readjust and take 20 points off onto bad. So if I readjust you, you're still around 130. That's not bad. I'm gonna say is I'd like it under 120. But the things that you would need to do is, I mean, I know if you're powerlifting, I know you're doing high protein, low carb, and people always hear me say that. They mean high protein. What does that mean? Well, I didn't say high fat either. So some people would say like, hey, that means I can eat all the ribeye steaks I want to. I would say that's still a bad idea.
Yeah,
because
Nadine.
it's not good cardiac health. Okay, so I can tell you lean proteins.
Yeah.
Increase your lean proteins.
Okay.
Try to lean down your diet of the fats.
Gotcha. And
Okay.
olive oil, good. Butter,
Yeah.
bad. Nadim.
Yeah, the HDL is the good cholesterol, so that's like the nuts, fish, avocado, right? All the good stuff. okay?
Gotcha.
And that's the stuff you want to increase the good fats and decrease the bad fats. Okay.
Gotcha.
And that's just pure animal fat. So there's no such thing as low fat bacon or low fat pork chops, right?
Yeah.
Pork by itself is not lean. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you, chicken, turkey, fish, all lean, and even red meat. I'm gonna say, just be careful of the cuts. There are different cuts that are leaner than others, right?
Understood.
Okay. Other things I look at your hormones. Thyroid looks good. You always want this number between 2 and 3. That's functioning well. Prostate, no issues there at all.
Yes.
You're where you need to be. This is a little bit where I'm going to say is, it depends on your situation. Testosterone levels at 346. It looks normal. However, probably not normal for your age. I know you're hitting 40. 280 to 1100 is a normal testosterone level. So I can tell you is looking at this here, I'll show you my I have kind of a graph here.
346.
Yeah, that's not great, but it depends. Again,
Does that mean I'm a pussy?
it's a little lower than it should be.
Oh my.
Well, I'm gonna say is, but it depends, right? And I could tell you all the things testosterone does. But if you look at my graph here, so think about age 25, you're 100%. Think of that as like about 1,000. Just add a 0 to my numbers here. I know you're hitting about 40. So a natural 40-year-old testosterone should be around 650 to 700. 60-year-olds is 450 to 500. So you're in the 300. So it is low. However,
So I'm like a 60-year-old.
at least maybe 70 or 80.
Oh
now.
my
But
God.
it depends. So if you're overtraining and working out, it just depends. If you're overtraining working out, you burn through your testosterone levels a lot faster. So I don't know if you're doing a lot more cardio or what's been going on. Stressors.
I've been training like crazy.
Okay. Yeah. So when I say physical or I'm going to say psychological stressors kind of increase your cortisol levels, right? So there's something as overtraining. And if you overtrain, you say, hey, I train 7 days a week, I'm powerlifting, you could be burning through your testosterone levels a lot faster than normal.
see.
Okay. And that's also why your recovery isn't as good. Okay. So a couple things here is, I mean, it just depends if you're symptomatic now. Remember, testosterone level is basically helps your sex drive, performance.
How horny should I be? Should I be horny every day? Or every 2
I'm gonna
hours?
say no. I think sex drive is sex drive is the libido is telling you yes. Do you have in your brain? Do you want to have sex? But the other way it manifests is if you can have an erection and you can't maintain the erection or the recharge. That's also what I say. Testosterone level is a big part of it. So if you say, hey, yeah, okay, the recharge isn't good as it was 5 years ago, or like it doesn't recover as fast, or I'm one and done. Yeah, that could be a testosterone issue. Okay.
see.
Energy, endurance, fat loss, muscle gain. Remember, testosterone is part of your metabolism. That's what helps you burn fat and can build muscle. And recovery. All right. Mental clarity memory, some patients tell me all the time, is as your testosterone lowers and you say, hey Ken, I feel like I'm in a brain fog, like maybe in the morning's not bad, but as the day goes on, because remember, your testosterone goes up in the morning, and kind of remember, like, you know, when you get morning erections, that's when your testosterone's the highest during the day. And as the day goes on, it kind of slants down. So you have a good 20 to 30% curve that goes down in testosterone throughout the day.
I do have a brain fog in the afternoon, which is why I think I like taking naps in the afternoon. So I get to wake up
and that could be a testosterone level, and you're just burning through your testosterone level. And then that could be because your body's trying to recover. And that's also why I always tell you is as the testosterone curve goes down, if you're having intercourse at nighttime, and if you're asleep within 2-3 minutes after your orgasm, yeah, that's why your testosterone level is so low. You're not recovering as fast.
Oh,
okay.
I see.
Okay, so improves your mood, improves your cholesterol numbers, right? That's your metabolism. Your joint, muscle legs kind of helps that, improves your red blood cell count, and protects heart attack and stroke. So yeah, your goal is, I always tell patients is, I don't care what number you're at, the goal is to optimize you here. So if you're really trying to power lift, your goal is getting up to here. So it depends what you're asking me to do.
Wow.
You look very healthy, so I'm going to tell you right now is you have a couple options you can go with. I always tell you the safe option's one. Safe option one is, if I think you're healthy, trying to stimulate your natural testosterone levels, right? There are ways I can actually give you different medications to stimulate your adrenal glands to kickstart your natural T. I think that probably would work because we know that you should be around 600 to 700. Your body's just not running efficiently, meaning either from the stressors that you're putting you through, for physical demands you're putting your body through, or I just don't know. I didn't ask about your mental health stressors, if they're financial issues, relationship stressors, things like that. That could also kick you down as well and make you all fatigued. So there are hormones like what we call peptides. Have you heard of peptide? You know what that is? Okay.
I've heard. I don't know too much about them, but I've heard of
them. So peptides is a protein molecule off the growth hormone chain. All it does is modulates your natural hormones. So basically, these peptides are basically, you do, like, we have what we call gonadotropin, which I like to use a lot. You inject that every day into your gut. It's kind of like an insulin injection. What it does, it sends a signal to your adrenal glands to kickstart your natural testosterone levels, to maximize it. So that's one way to do it. And then the second way to do it is giving you testosterone, of course. I'm going to tell you at 30, is that 39 right now? You're going to be turning 40?
Turning 40 this year, yeah.
Fertility, is that still important to you?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I can tell you is, you're still only 39 years old, so doing testosterone, I always recommend patients, you have a couple options. You can cycle, meaning what we do testosterone 3-4 months at a time and doing 1 month off. And the 1 month off will kickstart your natural T, right? To keep you safe, to make sure your testicles don't shrink over time. That's one option. Okay, and I would say is, if fertility was still important, I would tell you have to cycle. The secondary option I'd give you, Bart, is if you say, hey, fertility is not important, but you want to do testosterone, I could give you the peptides in addition to testosterone to keep your natural testosterone function going so it doesn't shrink on you. So those are two very good options. What do I like more? I like patient cycling a lot more. That's the only way I can guarantee that your testicles will kickstart. Right, because you're only 39, right? I don't necessarily know if this is really a low point or not.
So you could do it for 3 months, cycle off, it kickstarts. Would you have to jump back on?
And then go back on testosterone. That's a very safe way to do it. So that's a very safe way, and I have a lot of bodybuilders, that's what they do.
I see.
Okay, so, I mean, it depends what's right for you. I'm going to tell you, the natural options, a kickstarting your natural, very little side effects. This is just kickstarting your natural hormones. I don't have to watch as many things. Being on testosterone, though, there are some side effects I have to watch. And I can tell you the first one is, I have to watch your blood counts. And then as my sheet here says, improves your red blood cell count. Well, that's the black box one too. If you make too much red blood cells, you run the risk of stroke and now throwing a blood clot on me.
Oh, wow.
So when I do testosterone therapy, I always check patients every 3 to 4 weeks until I figure you out. It's how you metabolize the drug. So if your red blood cell count shoots up, what you need to do is either go donate blood, or B, come back in my clinic here and I take a little extra blood off of you to make sure you're safe.
Wow.
Okay, that's one element. The second element I have to watch is your estrogen level. Estrogen is synonymous to estradiol, and that's what you convert to. You kind of look at this level here. Testosterone is your estradiol. Estradiol is on the bottom half low point of it, and that makes sense to me because it converts. So if your testosterone goes up, Estrogen generally falls with it because that's what converts to it. That's what makes you, like a lot of people say,
high estrogen or low
that's
estrogen?
low. That's on the low. That's normal. So I would say is if you're like getting more moody or irritable, breast tenderness, water retention, think about a female at their time of the month on their cycle. Yeah, if you can start getting something like that, that's because your estrogen level is getting too high. I need to give you a what we call blocker to block the estrogen level. So testosterone doesn't actually make you irritable, or like there's an old term called roid rage.
Yeah.
It's not testosterone, it's actually the estrogen level that goes up. Like I said, just think about a female at their time of the month and then you see those symptoms.
Yeah.
That's when I would kind of give you an estrogen blocker to manage that.
I see.
I would say those are the things that the risk is between the testicle shrinking, watching your estrogen levels, and then watching your blood counts. Those are the major side effects of testosterone I have to watch.
With peptides, you don't shrink your testicles?
No. Those are fertility drugs. They actually help increase your sperm count, increase your testicle size, and increase your natural testosterone production. So that's why I would say is that's the safer route always to see. And the truth of the matter is, I'll know here in 3-4 weeks, meaning in 3 weeks, I'm going to recheck your blood work with the peptides to see how high your testosterone level gets and how you feel. And if it doesn't work, say you max out at 500. So maybe it gets a little better, but it doesn't get you to ideal. And if you tell me you feel great, okay, that's one thing. But say, hey, I don't feel much of a difference. The truth of the matter is now we know what the max potential, what your testicles can produce. That might not be good enough. That's when we make decision. Maybe it is doing testosterone and cycling at that point.
So is it the higher testosterone you have, the higher chance of fertility?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. Oh, okay.
Naturally, yes. Natural, if you have a natural testosterone level,
Yeah.
I can tell you if you have a higher testosterone level, naturally, you probably have it's correlated to a higher sperm count generally. But if I give you testosterone, it's going to actually shrink your testicles. You actually have a lower sperm count. Okay? So it just depends on your situation. Okay? So, I mean, you have two options you can go, pathways. We do both here. So I leave it up to you. They cost exactly the same, so there's no difference in cost. It just depends how quickly you want this to go up, if you want to maximize this to see if you feel a difference. If you're telling me you have a little fatigue during the day, like later in the evenings, that's probably your testosterone levels are bottoming out. I can tell you either option would work. If you do the peptide option, I usually so if you really think about this, the peptide option is kind of works in your adrenal glands to kickstart your natural testosterone level. There's a pill I couple that with sometimes called tamoxifen. Some people, like it's also Clomid is another option you can do. It works in the brain. What it does is it actually it's a half estrogen blocker. So what it does is it tells the brain to kind of kickstart your estrogen levels, which kind of signals down to your testicles to say, hey, keep up with the estrogen levels to make more testosterone. But then what it does is a half estrogen blocker where it inactivates the estrogen that you do make. So it doesn't really impact your estrogen level that much, but it will actually up your natural testosterone level. So not only does it's twofold. So now I'm giving gonadorelin, a peptide, to kind of kickstart from your luteinizing thyroid hormone, and then I'm giving from the estrogen level in your brain to kind of kickstart it there. So I try to use every option I know that will work to kickstart your natural. Generally speaking, it works very well in younger patients. It doesn't work as well in older patients, but for you, it'd be the ideal candidate. If you're healthy, don't take any medications, I'm going to tell you it probably will work. But we can recheck you here in a few weeks just to make sure if this is the option you want to choose.
I see. Thank you.
All right. Let me do this. Let me write it up. I'm going to have you talk to our practice manager, okay, or one of our healthcare advisors here, and kind of go over how we do our plans. They're month-to-month plans, okay? And I'm going to tell you here in a few weeks, we're going to make a decision if this is something we continue doing or we're going to change up and do something else.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I'm going to write it up here. I'll be right back.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Awesome.
Are you staying here? I didn't know that I had low testosterone. I thought I had high testosterone, but I guess I'm on the lower end, 346.
That's pretty low, dude.
Is it? I don't even know what low or high was. Now I feel like a bad Asian. You know, Asians always got to get like high SAT scores, high whatever. And I got low T scores. But here's the thing. This series, right, Road to Worlds, we're trying to compete in the IPF, tested by WADA. So I'm pretty sure I can't take none of this stuff, but it was a really eye-opening experience. just to see like where all my levels are, and a lot of it aren't just like, you know, fitness based. A lot of it are like health based. Where's my like my kidney, what the fuck do you call them? Fucking kidney, not extract, kidney enzymes, liver enzymes, like all those things. Estrogen level. It was good to see like everything was healthy, except that I'm a fucking pussy and my dick don't work. What I can do is I can start looking at some of the Andrew Huberman stuff. I know he has like a whole list of like natural things, because I think that'll be in line with WADA and the IPF, like fucking HUMBLY or whatever the fuck he recommends all the time. I'll take a look at those. And I do have baseline levels, so I do like that. So I could do my own natural protocol, run it 3 months, 6 months, and then come back and just get tested. And if it is an option later on, maybe I will jump on TRT or whatever. But for this, at least for this series, I can't be doing none of that stuff, because we are tested by WADA. And I'm just really interested in how far I can actually push myself at 40 naturally, you know, without any exogenous anything. But thank you guys for watching. This is a really, really cool video to really kind of dissect the human body, see where the levels are at, see where hormone levels are at, see what this pussy ass body can do at 40, and push as hard as I can, and continue my road to worlds. So I just did a quick Google search because I am interested in TRT. I would like to bring my levels up. I don't want to be such a fucking bitch. And I Googled, is TRT allowed by WADA? WADA is the testing organization for the IPF. And this is what they say verbatim. In cases where there is testicular failure with age and where there are accompanying symptoms, applicants might need to have replacement testosterone to remove the symptoms. But this makes them ineligible to compete. This situation has been discussed with WADA on several occasions, and the ruling still stands. And I actually really like this ruling, because if you think about it, we've all watched the Netflix documentary Icarus, right? Like, how easy is it to grease your doctor to say, hey, yeah, my patient really needs it. Now you're going to have athletes focusing on efforts, working with the doctor on how to get them diagnosed as having extremely low T so they can have testosterone, rather than the sport being focused on the sport, you know? And I also think this is really cool, because now if there's any other suspicions I've ever had, like, man, look at that, like, 60-year-old jacked ass masters fucking 12 lifter squatting my whole total, is he on TRT and that's why he can do it? I'm like, that's out the window. Like, if he's been testing clean for years, then they just been doing it naturally. They've been crushing it. So I'm glad I actually like looked one layer deep. Not that I was gonna take TRT or anything, but this is really cool to know. And I think it just makes the, like, all athletes just more black and white, no gray area, and it makes the sport more fun.